my veins. On the pitch where the glory remains, the cockerel stands brave on the crest. North London pride, this ain't no jest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash, numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in a roaring crowd, every game we scream it loud. Tottenham, Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Put myself on, wouldn't it? But handy if I did that. Good evening, guys. That wasn't just a poor performance. This was just a bad day at the office. This was a tactical betrayal. On the 1st of January 2026, Tottenham Hotspur, led by their new manager, Thomas Frank, played one of the most creatively bankrupt, soul-crushing, dull matches in recent history. It was a 0-0 draw against Brentford that felt in every way like a defeat. For 90 agonising minutes, the travelling Spurs fans were treated to a masterclass in anti-football, a spectacle so profoundly negative it provoked chants of boring, boring Tottenham from their own supporters. That's how bad it was. The statistics are damning. Tottenham are a club that prides itself on flair and attacking football, a club whose fans demand to be entertained, failed to produce a single meaningful shot on target for most of the game. The performances were defined by sideways passes, aimless long balls, and a tangible sense of fear. It was clear Thomas Frank sent his team out not to win, but to methodically suffocate the life out of the contest, securing a single point at the cost of his own club's identity and supporters' patience. So how did this happen? How did the game plan designed to be safe blew up into a complete and utter humiliation? Why didn't it trigger such a furious backlash from the fan base that hope for a new dawn under Frank? We're about to distract cowardly tactics that humiliated Spurs fans, exposed the blueprint for betrayal from the flawed team selection to the moment of a symbolic surrender that confirmed everyone's worst fears. This is a club in crisis. This is a club in downfall. This is a manager out of depth, out of ideas. Thomas Frank, if you have any soul left in you, go tonight, please. Yeah, I wrote that down. I actually wrote a hell of a lot more. Believe me, there's more to come. I sat down at 1 o'clock this afternoon, and when I was putting the show together, it was how can I describe Tottenham, and all this flew out. It really did. There is more to come. I don't know. There's a first half bit of it. There's a second half. I don't know what to make of it, but that is the first bit of it. Let's welcome a few people in. Big up to everyone that's watching. Sorry about about that, guys. I just forgot to download the PDFs that I had for tonight's show. So I'm going to do that very quickly. I thought I had, but I hadn't. There you go. Start 2026 as a mean to go on. Oh, the game was that bad last night that just made me forgot to download the PDFs that are designed. Never mind. Never mind. That was a shambolic performance last night, wasn't it, guys? It was dreadful. I mean, I've seen Colin rant about Manchester United, right? And I don't think I think if he watched that, I think his TVs would have been taken off his walls. But look, what can you do? It was a diabolical performance. I've never seen a worse Tottenham side play as badly as we did last night. Look, Brentford were no better either, by the way. It was a bad. If that was an advertisement for Premier League, I think they would have lost a lot of money last night. But anyway, let's see who's in the chat. Big up to Wayne Bonner. Good evening. Hope everyone. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all well and had a happy New Year's Eve and a great week. Hopefully, we get a good quality signing in so we don't have to watch that dog shite again. We will be on Sunday because we ain't bought anyone yet. And he's also sent in the super chat as well. Big up to you, Wayne. Thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate it, bud. It says belated Happy New Year, everyone. A Happy New Year to you, Wayne. Hope you're doing well, bud. Big up to Ed. He says, hi, Dermot. Sunderland is all or nothing. I agree. Sunderland's all or nothing. Big up from Hamburg in Germany. I hope you're doing well in Hamburg. A place that I want to visit one day. So you never know. Might pop over there one day and we go out for a pint. Big up to Wayne said that performance was awful. Bill Nicholson would have been turning in his grave for that performance. It's not Tottenham. It is not Tottenham. I don't know what anyone says or what anyone thinks of that. That is not Tottenham. I don't care. Tottenham is push and run. Tottenham has always been push and run. That's the Spurs way. However, that push and run evolves over the years, and as football evolves, push and run does evolve. That is the Tottenham way. I am doing a video tomorrow. I think it'll be going out Monday on Pochettino and why I think Poch is the only manager to save us now. I really do believe that. Gerard said it's all about results, and he did well over the X-Men's 4 points away from home with a bunch of donkeys. Frankie's a miracle. Look, there's that argument as well. If you look about it, 4 points away from home, you're not complaining, but the performances, Gerard, even you can admit last night was. If I wasn't doing the watch along, I would have turned over and watched the darts halfway through. But because I was doing the watch along, I had to. I had to continue doing it. But it's dreadful. It's dreadful. I just want to. That's 2 hours of my life I'm never going to get back again. You can't have it everywhere. No, you can't have it everywhere. But I'm sorry, it's not good enough. I'm sorry, he's not good enough. The players are not good enough. The owners are not good enough. The whole club needs to be burnt down and burnt to the ground and built up again in the image that Bill Nick built the first Tottenham Hotspur. This is a very different Tottenham Hotspur to what Bill Nick, Keith Birkinshaw, Terry Venables had. This is a very different Tottenham Hotspur than Pochettino had. This is a Tottenham Hotspur that is unrecognisable. We've got no identity. We've got no passion, no nothing. And the away fans are now booing the manager. If you lose the away fans, then you're done. You're toast. Frank is not out of ideas. He's made the defence more solid. David, please. I'm not going down this of Frank's made our defence more solid. He has not made it more solid. We've only won 2 games out of our last 11. That's not good enough. Therefore, needing only one to score. We want David. There's games that we haven't even had a shot on target until well into the second half. We were playing Brentford, and what's it doing? Our goalkeeper gets booked for time wasting on the 60th minute, and you're telling me that Frank is not out of ideas. He is out of ideas. But this midfield and strikers were totally incapable of creating. The whole fucking team's incapable. Every one of them. Big up to your page over there from JSY. Hope you're doing well. Big up to you. Hope you are doing well. Leeds got a great result yesterday. Absolutely fantastic result at Anfield. Really did. That's a big point for them. And I think that could be the point of keeping Leeds in the Premier League. I do think that. Big up Gerard Bentancur. Brentford beat a lot of top six. Yeah, they have. But we're Tottenham Hotspur. We should be beaten. Brentford have never beaten us at their place. We should have rocked up last night and rolled them over. But we can't because we just got a manager who's clueless. We've got players that are clueless and the club that's clueless. If Brentford could hit a barn door, they wouldn't have won. The both teams were poor last night, but I don't care about Brentford. I care about Tottenham Hotspur. We were poor, and that's the problem. Another draw against Sunderland on the cuff. I don't know. I don't expect us to get a win against Sunderland. I'm telling you that now. If we play like that on Sunday against Sunderland, that whole stadium is going to be booing for 1 minute. It's going to turn toxic. If Sunderland go 1-0 up, that stadium will turn toxic as quickly as I change my t-shirts. That's how quickly it's going to turn toxic. It will turn very toxic. However, I'm still sticking with Frank. There's more. Wayne, I went in right. I went into New Year's Day with the attitude, right, clean slate. I'm going to give New Year clean slate. I'm going to go in there. He's got this game to prove to me. Clean slate. Forget what's happened in the past. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to say, right, go on them. We're going to come on, show me what you can do. And that's what he showed me what he can do. He can bugger off. Who comes in? Who knows? Who does know? Do you sacrifice the season? Probably not. We've got the FA Cup against Villa. Do we go out of that? The season's over anyway. Do you say, well, damn it, we might as well change it now? It's a hard one, isn't it? You're sort of damned if you do and damned if you don't. It's all to the board now. Do the board stick or twist? And this is the board now. And this is the month the board have to come out. Either they're going to back Frank and say, right, Frank, we know you're going through hard times. We're going to buy you the players to improve the squad, the players that you need to put it right. And then we're going to say, right, go and prove us to us. You can do it. Or the board saying, sorry, things are not good enough. I do have an update on Thomas Frank anyway. With this light, if they press from the sprint from Brentford, would have created numerous chances and would have taken all 3 points. Do you know what? It was the pressing for me, David. We just weren't pressing, and that's I get what you're making a very good point, but I just want to see a little bit more out there from Tottenham last night. It was backways and sideways, and it's so frustrating. If it wasn't for Van der Ven, Romero. Look, I thought Romero was poor last night. I thought Mickey Van der Ven was man of the match for me. I thought he was exceptional again last night. Romero, I said it yesterday when Danso was in that midfield with Mickey Van der Ven, we looked more calm, more solid. Romero comes in, could have got sent off if another referee or another person on VAR got sent off for stopping a goal. We should have had a penalty last night by right as well, with a foul on, but I think it was Archie Gray. We should have had a penalty there. So, look, I think all round it was bad performance for everyone, but I don't care about everyone. I care about Tottenham Hotspur, and it was the performance that it was a hard watch. The sack Frank wants to get to results. It's getting results, isn't it? We've bought bad players in the past 5 years. I said it for 3 years. But yeah, I agree, Thomas. This is years of mismanagement. It really is. Big up, David. Brentford have better striker than us. Brentford have better midfielder than us. Only Romero and Van der Ven stopping relegate. Look, I don't think. Look, for me and Tequila did the show before Christmas on the squad, and the only world class player we have that we would think will walk into a title winning side is Mickey Van der Ven. Romero, possibly, yes. They're the only two. For me, big up to Wayne as well. Member for 23 months. 33 months. Wow. Big up to you, Wayne. Thank you so much. Hell no. Yeah, I've said it. I got a feeling we're going to win the FA Cup this year. I just got that sneaky feeling. Do you know what? I promised myself I wouldn't. Yeah, okay. I blame Spurs fans having no idea, been bullied, have been bullying up these past 3 years, where most of them been absolutely done. Right. Firstly, I think we need to stop attacking the fans and saying it's the fans' fault or the fans have. No, I blame the fans. I blame the Tottenham fans. It's their fault. Do we buy the players, David? No. Do we give the money to the? Are we the scouts that go out and scout these players? No. Are we the people that do the contracts for these players? No. Do we go in every day and train these players? No. It's the people that should be blamed are the people at the club. I'm getting sick of everyone blaming the fans. We've had it for the last year under Ange. It's the fans' fault. We're having it now again. It's the fans' fault. I'm sorry. If anyone's to blame, it's the manager, the players, and the people at the football club. And Daniel Levy for 25 years of mismanagement, and Enoch as well for mismanagement for 25 years, for building a squad that is not good enough. And the ones that suffer, David, the ones that suffer is us, the fans. We pay the highest ticket prices in Europe. We are treated badly by the club. The away fans are the best fans in the Premier League. For away fans, are best by far. Every game they go in their numbers, support the club for 90 minutes. And I'm not having this blaming the fans anymore. I'm sick to death of hearing I'm blaming the fans. It's not our fault. How about blaming the people at the football club? How about blaming Daniel Levy, who didn't give the right finances to buy the right players? How about blaming Enoch, who didn't put enough money within the club every transfer window to buy players? Do you remember the window we didn't buy anyone for 3 windows? Does everyone forget that on the Poch? Do you forget we didn't back Poch when we had a chance to finish second in the league to really build on that and push on from that? We didn't push on from the Champions League final. We didn't help. We just haven't. We've been mismanaged, but it's okay. Everyone gets a pass. We're going to blame the fans. I am sick to death of people saying it's the fans' fault. It's not our fault. And I'm sick of hearing it. We won't see real progress till next season, just as maybe so. But Wayne, you know as well as I do, me have been supporting this football club long enough. If you lose the away fans, the manager is toast. And who do you replace him with? That is the problem. You bring somebody else in. And that's the dilemma I have. You bring somebody else in, you get a manager bounce, and then you're in the same situation 8 months later. So it's down to the owners this January to prove to me, right, we've sold Brendan Johnson. Now we're going to buy a replacement. Where's the replacement for Brendan Johnson? If Tottenham was seriously, and Paratici was doing his job. There's more about this. The club is so in disarray at the moment, from the very top to the bottom. We're a club in crisis. We've got major problems within the boardroom. We've got major restructuring going on there. We've got major Paratici going off to Fiorentina for all we know. Nothing's been said about that, but he could well do. And we've got a transfer window. And where's Lang? Probably he's still on his Christmas break. So look, I've just had enough. It needs to be burnt down and start again. Big up to Jared. Dermo, do you expect Frank to work with League One players like Scarlett? Let's get real. We don't have a border who could. Look, I said it before, and I say the same thing I said to David. We have not been. We're now. This is the legacy of Daniel Levy. This is the legacy of him not spending the right money. We have misspent money so badly at Tottenham over the years on players that are not good enough. We didn't replace Harry Kane. We haven't replaced Sonny. When we did have Harry Kane and Sonny, we didn't build a team around them, which we should have done. And we should have done that under Poch. Poch asked for a rebuild. We didn't get one. And this is Levy's legacy, what we're seeing now. And until Enoch go, and Enoch, for me, everyone's saying, we must give Enoch time. Yes, we must give them to next summer. And that's every fan's right. Every fan has a right to see how they want to. And look, and Tequila, to be fair to him, has that view, but he also has the view like me that he doesn't bloody trust them. And I don't trust them. It's like they've left. Daniel Levy's left, and it's like Tottenham, the whole boardroom has gone to hell. It's just something has to change. I'm really angry with this. Jerry says, do you think borders like Gaza, Hoddle, and Waddle, we have nothing that We have nothing. I'm agreeing with you, so I don't know why you keep attacking me and say to me, "You don't know what you're talking about. I know what I'm talking about. I'm right. You're talking shite." I agree with you. Do you know? And we can't keep looking back either with great players like Hoddle and Waddle and Gaza and Gary Mabbutt and Steve Perryman and Graham Roberts and Paul Allen and Paul Stewart and Gary Lineker and Robbie Keane and Ledley King and all these great players. We have bought badly, and that's down to Daniel Levy. That is down to Enoch. And this is why the protests should still be going on because the board are still there. The same people that have owned this club for 25 years are still pulling the strings. Yeah, we'll put some new faces to it. It's just like, hi, we're new. Just forget what happened for the last 25 years. We're 2.0. We're going to prove to you that we've changed. No, you haven't changed. You're still the same old embarrassing, corrupt, selfish board you always have been, you're always going to be. And the only way things are going to change is if we get new owners and a new identity. They've killed our identity. We haven't got an identity. We don't know who we are. We have no hope being ugly. That's what I'm saying. I'm sticking by it. You can say the name Tottenham Hotspur as many times as you like, but it just doesn't wash. These players are not Spurs standard. David, when are you going to accept that it was the person that bought the players? You're blaming the fans, saying it's our fault, right? And now you're saying you can say the name Tottenham Hotspur as many times as you like. And I will say it as many times as I like. But it doesn't come to the fact that it's Enoch and Daniel Levy, 25 years of mismanagement, of misbuying players, people that are in the job like Steve Hitch. Steve Hitch never gets a bad rap when he was in charge. Does never gets nobody ever slags off Steve Hitchin for the work he done, for the money he wasted. He wasted it on the French person who didn't want to be here in the first place. And then we spent the next 3 years trying to make him feel welcome. And he was a shit player. So I think everyone that's saying that Daniel Levy and the years and Enoch, that Enoch now going to get a free pass is wrong. For me, it's everyone should take responsibility from the managers to the players to the owners to the director of football to everyone. And it's yeah, right. So you telling me it was all Enoch's fault? Daniel Levy didn't do any harm at all, and we wasted God knows how much money on shit players, and we wasted so much. The club's in disarray, and the sooner Enoch are out, the better. Uh, uh, right. It is the fans who constantly said these players are good enough for top four. Most of them are not even Premiership standard. You can't keep blaming the fans. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you can't. It's not. You have to blame everyone else as well. Everyone else got to come into the pie. You just can't say, right, I'm going to pick one section and it's all their fault. I'm going to put all the blame on their door, but everybody else gets away with it. I'm sorry, no. Lang was a useless. We need a left. Yeah, we do. Desperately, we need a striker. Desperately, we need left back. Definitely need midfielders. We need a new goalkeeper as well. Is Romero going in the summer? Maybe we've got enough centre backs. I think we're all right for that position. This squad is Daniel Levy's legacy. Well, there you go. That's the point I was trying to make, David. This squad is Daniel Levy's legacy. It's him, not the last 10 coaches' fault. It's Spurs fans who lapped it up when Spurs played young players. They're still saying they need time. So were you not happy when we were playing brilliant football under Pochettino? Were you not lapping it up then yourself, David? When we were playing great, when Dele Alli was doing great stuff, when Harry Kane was coming through and scoring goals, and Sonny joined the club, and we had a group of young players that came through the academy. Danny Rose and Kai Walker came back to the club, and we had a young Yang and a young Toby. You weren't lapping it up as well with the rest of us. Were you sitting there going, "Do you know what? This is shit football. This is not good." Do you know you can't keep saying it's Spurs fans who lapped it up when you were doing exactly the same. Um, Domo, this is the truth of the manager. Spurs are expected to perform miracles by both board and fact. Yeah, fair enough. William, man, big up you. In it knows who we are. We are 4 million in their pocket and taking us right. Yeah, exactly. Hitchin was dog crap. Too much money spent on Dombele. But yeah, exactly. Um, with the new with the money we spent, normally finish in the right place with the money. We wasted money. We wasted the money. We absolutely wasted. And last night formally falls on the manager last night. It falls on the manager and it falls on the players last night. Nobody else nobody else should take any sort of blame for last night. That was the manager set us up not to lose and take a point away at Bournemouth. Brighton, sorry. That is down on the manager. It's down on the players as well last night. It was a hard watch. Um If Enoch get right, sorry. Big up to you. Big up Jared. With the money we spent, we normally think, yeah, I got that. I give Enoch till the summer transfer window. Levy had no clue about football, just concerned about making and save money. Exactly. And Wayne's like me. You can't blame the fans. The attitude from the fans is born from frustration, bleeding down from the top. Poch, Harry, Jose, Conte all said the same. They did about the club. Absolutely spot on. Everyone was all out for Frank was a tactical genius not so long ago, but how we've turned into 6 months. From day one, I stated George would be. The keeler said to me before even the season started, he said to me that Dermo, you're going to be in for a lot of boring draws this year. And I went, yeah, right, okay. By Jesus, had he been right? I mean, last night was really bad. It was horrendously bad. Um, but I agree, it's true. Big up Gerard Dermo. What's the correct course of action to take? The players are responsible if they can't put two. The players are responsible. The manager is responsible, and that's the problem, isn't it? What is the cheapest option? If a club, right, are looking at it, what's the cheapest option? The cheapest option is to get rid of a manager. But if you spend over what's it? Is it 50 million euro was spent on Thomas Frank and his coaching staff? Are we going to wipe that out in 6 months? We're at a crossroads. We are totally at a crossroads. We've got the FA Cup. The FA Cup game against Villa is going to make or break our season. And do you know it's horrendous that we've come to that. Um, it really is. And for a club of the size of Tottenham Hotspur to be like that, we won the Europa League. A lot of people says that that we were lucky, and probably we were lucky to win it. It was a shit final. We won the game. We won the trophy. Got into the Champions League, and we wanted to build on from that, and we haven't built on that. We haven't built on that whatsoever. And for me, I blame for last night. I blame the manager and the players definitely. I think the summer, I blame the upheaval of Daniel Levy and the war in the boardroom. There was a war in the boardroom in the summer. There's still a war going on now. There's still people trying to stab people in the back within the boardroom. It isn't working. There's a lot of upheaval. Daniel Levy ran the whole of Tottenham. Now he's left. Everyone is running around like headless chickens. How do we run this? How do we run this football club? And we're spiraling out of control. We're spiraling out of control on the football pitch where we desperately need new players, upgrade on the squad. We're running around like headless chickens off the pitch. We don't know what we're doing. But don't worry, guys. Do not worry. We've got Beyonce coming in the summer. We've got more events coming, which I don't mind as long as that money goes back into the football club. But we seem to have taken our eye off the ball. And I think that's the problem as well. Little is 3-1 up what? In sets or in legs? Jesus, 3-1 up already. Fucking hell. That he's a baller. He is some talent. He really is some talent. Time for Porro to go, in my opinion. Oh, yes, Lord Porro. If you're doing proper rebuild, then they're all going. Yeah, exactly. Williams says 150 million treasure chest. Yep, selling players to get 35 million for Johnson. More sales than coming. I reckon so too. Jesus. Well, he's going to win that. He's going to win that in record time. Big up to William Ebb. We'll become the first club to win we became the first club to win the FA Cup and penalties have to draw in all our games 0-0, 1-1. Yeah. It's so fun. So funny. Frank will play the reserves against Villa. He better not. The cheapest option is the long run. It's to back the manager. Yeah, that is the cheapest option. But when do ENIC ever choose the correct option? They don't. They do not. Let's go over. Let's talk a bit about the game last night. It really was a shambolic performance, wasn't it? It really was. But the stats don't say that. Now, I wanted to say a little bit about the game. I've written these notes down. So, let's see what I wrote. Gee, I wrote a lot here. Uh, Here we go. First half. Um, so let me just bring this into here so I can read it. Um, Let me read that. Hang on. Just let me bring it up so I can. Okay, let me read it on the screen for you. Sorry, just because I've written all this down. Okay, so right for me, the game started with a jolt. There should have been a warning. Indeed, 5 minutes in, Brentford had the ball in the net. A corner came in. A header was parried by Vicario, and Kevin Shanad was there to tap in the rebound. The assistant flag went up for offside. Spurs got away with one. This moment should have been a wake-up call, a sign that being purely passive would invite danger. Instead, it seemed it just reinforced Frank's fear, causing his team to retreat even further into their shell. What followed was a turgid, forgettable half-hour of football. Any hope for lively encounter died quickly. Spurs' possession was sterile and predictable. The ball moved quickly across the back four, with Mickey van der Ven and Christian Romero seeing more of it than any of the attackers. When the ball did get to the midfield, it was met with a safe sideways pass. The lack of movement, urgency was infuriating to watch. The seas of fans' disconnect were being sown with every risky, adverse pass. For the first time, Spurs even looked scoring. They didn't come until the 32nd minute. A cross from Pedro Porro found Richarlison, who clipped the ball backwards towards Archie Gray. His goal-bound header was heroically blocked by Nathan Collins, and Richarlison could only sky the rebound, and that was it. That was the sum of total Tottenham's attacking effort over half an hour. It wasn't a good move. It was a scrappy piece of broken play that almost fell their way. Basically, the rest of the first half played out the same frustration pattern. Spurs were plagued by what Frank later called unforced errors. Promising counter attacks were wasted by misplaced pass or poor touch. These were just simple mistakes. They were mistakes of team playing with the handbrake on, a team so scared of losing the ball that they invariably did. As the halftime whistle blew, the scoreboard read 0-0. But the mood in the UAM was already turning sour, and that's when we heard, the chants of boring Tottenham. It really was. Um, what's wrong with a horrible? What's wrong being? I get it. I get that, Jared, but you're missing the point. The point I'm trying to make is there's a way of doing it. You can be horrible, but I think there's a way of doing it rightly. And we didn't even do that. We sort of did it against Palace, didn't we? We attacked. And yes, we should have won that game. Um, and that was a horrible win, but it was a bearable win. A win's a win. Last night was just pure torture. Um, Big up to Kubo. We're recovering from a crisis and finished 17th. We knew Frank didn't need many transfer. He said he fixed the defense first. That's what we've seen. Unwatchable, but expected. Yeah, I know. But what about the midfield and what about the attacking? Big up to Rain. We're defensively solid against Brentford. The problem is we need the fluid attack at the same time. And that was the thing. Last night, right, I looked at the lineup before I read what I wrote down for the second half, about the second half. And I thought last night, right, play Odebear on the right, play Tell on the left, put Richie or Morani up front, and put Kudus as the 10. And that's what I would have done. And we didn't. And we went with 7 defenders. This is Brentford. We're not playing Manchester City. We're not playing Liverpool at Anfield. We're not playing Manchester United at Old Trafford. We're not playing any of the top teams or Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. That I could sort of understand. If we were playing Anfield, right, I could understand the setting up like that. But this is Brentford. This is a team that have only beaten us once. I think they've never beaten us at their ground in the Premier League. And this was a chance that we got a win against Palace. We've got a scrappy win, but a win's a win. Last night was a chance to start the year off on the right foot, to really start it off on the right foot and really put it to bed. Right, this is us going forward. This is what we're going to be like. And we went straight back to form. We went back to form of playing for a draw. Our goalkeeper gets booked after 60 minutes for time wasting. That was up for me. That was enough for me. That was enough for me. Big up to you, Coover. Happy New Year to you, bud. I'll give you a call tomorrow in the next few days, man. See how you. I hope you and the boys are doing well. Big up, Dermo. Is Frank getting anything right in your opinion? Look, I always wanted Thomas Frank to prove me wrong, and I was never really fully Frank out. I still want him to prove me wrong. I still keep going back in a way to Poch's first season where he did need a couple of transfer windows to get it right, but he was prepared to make the hard decisions. Is Thomas Frank prepared to make the hard decisions? That's the question. And if he ain't going to do what Pochettino did do, then I think this is going to continue. We can keep rinsing and repeating. I get that. We can't keep saying the easy option is to sack the manager and replace him with another manager because he's just gone through another cycle. That I agree with as well. But is Thomas Frank the right man for Tottenham? Are we just going to blow out this season and sack him in the summer, bring in Pochettino, whoever? This is the proper long build. That's the question that has to be asked. And then if we do, then we've just wasted this opportunity to something to build on. After winning the Europa League, we could have built on it, and we didn't. And that's where the failure came in the summer in the transfer window. That's where the rot started, where we didn't back them properly in the summer. And then it's just been a tumbling effect. We had a good easy start. We had a good start this season. And then as soon as we start coming up with these big teams, we've only won 2 games out of the last 11. And I did see a stat the other day, and it really did. It was unbelievable. I want to see what that stat is, actually. I did send it to my mate Carl. Here we go. Right. Out of our last 10 Premier League games, we lost to Chelsea 1-0. We drew at United 2-2. Lost to Arsenal 4-1. We lost to Fulham 2-1. We drew with Newcastle. We beat Brentford. We lost to Nottingham Forest 3-0. We lost to Liverpool 2-1. We beat Palace and we drew against Brentford. 9 points out of possible 30. One goal a game. 1.0 goal a game. 1.6 goal conceded a game. In our last 10 Premier Leagues, in our last 10 Premier League games, we've won 2 out of it's 11 now. So say 2 out of our last 11 games, and people seem to be okay with that. Don't worry, it's his first season. We're going to be fine. We're not going to get relegated because we're not going to get relegated because the bottom 3 teams are shit. Again, thankfully, and I just have had enough. I've had enough of this. I've had enough of the bullshit. I've had enough of watching shite football. I've had enough of it. I've had a gulpful of it. But I'm wrong to I'm wrong to have this opinion. I'm now told I'm not allowed to have this opinion as a fan. I have to stay quiet because if I view this opinion, I'm wrong, and I'm what's wrong with the football club. I'm what's wrong with the football club because I have this opinion of this is not good enough. I'm not going to be satisfied until we start getting back to I see the club I know and the club I love with the identity who we are. But I'm not allowed to have this opinion by some people. I'm not allowed to if I have this opinion, I'm what's wrong with the football club. So I have to then sit here and go, yeah, everything's fine. Thomas Frank, great manager. He's going to bring us to glory. I'm sorry, he ain't going to bring us to no glory, but until we get new owners and a new identity and owners that are prepared to spend, but spend the money properly. Scouts that are properly scouting players. Director of football that's doing his job properly. Not just buying kids. We want ready now players. If Pep wants a player, Pep goes out, right, I want that player. To go out and get that player. Semenyo is going to Manchester City. We all love the Bournemouth player and Tottenham. Of course we would. Of course we all love him to come to the football club. But he ain't going to come to us, is he? He's looking at us thinking, am I going to go there? Or am I going to go to Man City under Pep? Which manager do I want to work under? He's going to go to Pep. But I'm not allowed to have that opinion, because if I have that opinion, I'm the problem. I'm the fan to certain people that I'm the problem of the fan base. I'm one of the part of the fan base that's the problem. But don't worry, we won't blame Thomas Frank for last night. We won't blame the players. We just blame the fans. It's all their fault. It's all their fault. They deserve all this. And no, we do not deserve all this. And I will keep sticking to my opinions. And I will keep taking how I'm thinking, because I have a right to say what I say. I have a right to support the football club how I see fit. And I won't be told to shut up and go and sit in the corner and say nothing. I will not do that. I will not be shut up. And I will keep saying how I feel. And I will keep telling how I'm seeing things. I have supported this club 44 years this year. And I've had enough. I've had enough. Football is about winning trophies. Football is about glory. It's about having nights like we did in Bilbao. That's what football is about. Football's changed completely too, by the way. Football's not the same as it was 15, 20 years ago. Football's a non-contact sport. You know, you can't tackle anyone. You can't celebrate a goal anymore. Football is just a money-making organization that's probably going to go bust one day, and then we maybe get our football back. But to be told or to be saying, I've seen it quite a lot around X. I've seen it quite a lot around YouTube. Seen quite a lot that it's everybody else is the problem. Mr. Joe Blogs over there, he said that about Tottenham. He's the problem. Mr. Tommy Smith down the road, he said something about he's the problem. Well, how about the people that own the football club and the people that's supposed to put money in and buy the players, and the director of footballs who was supposed to scout these players, and the scouts still work under these director of football? How about blaming them? How about blaming the manager who was supposed to coach, who's supposed to come in? And I was one of them that said Thomas Frank will come in. He's tactically sound. He's going to make us more solid, which he has done at the back. But we're going to have this sort of flair football. And he came in and said that in his first press conference. He turned around. He says, I'm going to build on the shoulders of what we succeeded in Bilbao. Well, he ain't building on the shoulders. He's building on the arse of it, because he's gone so deep past the shoulders. He'd be at the feet next by the end of the season. That's how much he's not building up. He's building down. And I've just had a pure enough of it. And I think this is frustration from last season. I think it's frustration seeing how, if Bill Nick or Arthur Rowe or Keith Birkinshaw saw this football club now, and I bet Keith Birkinshaw, bless him, is still alive. If he's watching Tottenham now with Steve Perryman or one of them great players we had in the 80s, he would look round to Steve and said, this is a club I do not recognise anymore. And I've purely had enough. Purely had right enough. We have 7 quality players, Max, so we need new blood. We definitely do. Big up to you. San Diego says, I'll take Southgate over this guy. At least we make a final. Does mind you, that is true. Oh God, have we got that bad that we're looking at Gareth Southgate now? Dermo, we have the best away record in the league. So Frank, yeah, he has got the best away record in the league, but you have to win your home games too. And that was partly on the Ange as well. So that's not all Thomas Frank's fault. But last night, what got me more, Gerald, about last night is just setting up for a point away to Brentford. I am sorry. We should be beat. If that was Arsenal at the Emirates, or Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, or Liverpool at Anfield, or any of the big 3 or 4 in the Premier League, I would understand it completely and think, fair play to you. I get that. I understand it. I applaud it. But Brentford, rarely. Seriously. Jesus, a bunch of 9-year-olds could have beaten this Brentford side. Yes, they got a good home record, but the point I'm trying to make is we should have went out there and we should have gone for it. And if you're looking at the last 20 minutes, then change the formation, make it more attacking. Instead of bringing on a defender for a midfielder for another midfielder. Instead of taking Kudus off, push Kudus into the middle, Put a winger put Odegaard on the right, put Tell in the left, and put Morani up front, and then go for it. Uh, your opinion is yours, Doma. F anyone who doesn't like it. Literally, don't like mine. I just don't give up as being. I am being myself. I don't care what anyone says. The other one I care about what says is Mr. John. That's the other one who I do care what she says. We all have a right to our opinions. Yeah, we do. We do have a right to our opinions. But I think blaming the fans for me is just beyond. That's taking the biscuit. The game is about glory. It's about doing things in style and with flourish, about going out and beating them, the other, not wanting them to die of boredom. Some are still, but I believe in that. But maybe you and me are a dying breed, Cooper. Maybe you and me are a dying breed. The last five managers agree with you. Sadly, Frank is just a club puppet. He said he never knew what was happening with Johnson. Total, yeah, total. I agree that as well. Many a man couldn't wait to see the back of Ange. Not me, but look, he had to go after finishing 17th and 22 league defeats, to be fair. As we should have, Bill Nick had a focus and identity. Yeah, they did. Let's see. Big up to Rain Man. Big up to you. If Frank was supposed to work with what he's given now, our players have gone off too far gone. I'm not having any of this treacherous crap analysis with some of our fans. Again, big up to your Rain. Everyone says, oh God, he's in the final, isn't he, Gerard? In 20 years, Tim, a lot of clubs won't exist. Libya set us up for 50 years facility wise. Sadly, he never gave, yeah, exactly. He never did give anything to the team. And last year, Ange lost a game when he had Romero and Mickey van der Ven. He was without them for 3 to 4 months. Yeah, that's so true as well. Right, guys, let's go through little bits and pieces. This is the match stats from last night's game. 59.9% possession for Brentford, 44.1% for Tottenham. XG 0.90 for Brentford, 0.86 for Tottenham. 7 total shots, 2 on target, and 1 big chance created by Brentford. 9 shots by Spurs, 3 on target, and no big chances created by Tottenham Hotspur. Thomas Frank on the fans voiced their frustrations at you, and particularly when you went over to at the end. It says, yeah, I think it seemed like they were not too satisfied, and it's fair when you don't hit that top performance overall, but I think it's a double-sided, because I think what we need to understand is the acknowledgement of the defense side of the game, which is we've done excellent today against a team that just scored 3 against Liverpool, 3 against Man United, so on, and so on. But of course, the offensive part needs to be better. There's no two ways about that. Well, Littler's just one. Jesus, he really ran through that. Bloody hell. Now, the manager situation. This is what I was given this morning, guys. I will do a video on this. Coming out on Monday. I'm going to do a pre-record and go over this sort of what I was given. But anyway, Tottenham Hotspur are not actively negotiating a chance at change of manager at this moment, but contingency plans are quietly being discussed and being behind the scenes. Thomas Frank remains in charge for now. However, his position is under increasing internal pressure due to results and performances. Mauricio Pochettino has been mentioned internally as a fallback option should Spurs decide to act quickly later in the season. No formal approach has been made to Pochettino at this stage. This is an exploratory discussion, not a move. Spurs hierarchy are aware of the fan sentiment around Pochettino, view his name as a stabilizing short-term solution if things escalate. Any potential return would be complex with timing and existing commitments being a major obstacle. Now, that major obstacle would be he is the manager of the United States football team. So that is the major thing. But look, I won't say too much on this because I am doing the video on it and I am going to have my views on it. The one thing I will say is Pochettino the only man to unite the club and the fan base? And that's a question I'm asking you guys as well. Is he the only man to unite the fan base and the club? Is Pochettino that man? Let me know in the comments what you think, but I will go more into it on Monday. So please do look out for that video. if you can. Transfer wise, to get a bit into transfer window, transfer to Crystal Palace. Brennan Johnson has gone to Crystal Palace for £33.5 million. I think that is straight up front as well. So that is a here we go as well. So he's now gone. Brendan Johnson, the first player out of the transfer window. Then also Tataki also has gone to German side. Buchen, forget their name now, but yeah, he's gone to a German side until June 2026, until the end of the season. Also, Mona Salomon has joined Fiorentina with a full exit in the summer, maybe on the cards. Now, he's gone on loan to start off with 6 months loan, but he could be moving there permanently in the summer if he plays well at Fiorentina. Also, Savinho, one of the players that we are after, is 45% done. We're waiting to see if it progresses. Now, that's down to the Man City side, but 45% of this transfer is already done already. Also, Jamie Donnelly has come back to the club after leaving Stoke. He's now joined Championship side Oxford United on loan for the remainder of the 25-26 season. Just want to read very quickly, guys, if I can, the second half, what I wrote down. And then I'll just sum up the game, and then I'll get to the comments, and we will end it there. What I wrote was, if the first half was cautious, the second half was an act of unconditional surrender. Any pretense of going for a winner evaporated, replaced by a desperate back to the wall, scrambled to the ceiling to a single point. This is where the tactical plan went from pragmatic to pathetic. There was a brief, fleeting moment of intent right after the restart when Mohamed Kudus had that great snapshot, didn't he? Just flew just over the bar, suggesting Spurs might have been told to show a bit more ambition. It was a forced dawn, and it really was a forced dawn. The flicker of positivity was quickly snuffed out of us, and the team went right back to its default setting of deep defence. And that brings us on to the moment of shambolic betrayal in the 69th minute, when over 20 minutes of normal time left. This is the bit that really got me last night. And I just I lost my head. And I did. I probably said something I should have said in the watch on. But it really made me go, why? Vicario was booked for time wasting. Let that sink in. A club of Tottenham stature in a 0-0 game was deliberately killing time with quarter of the match remaining. This wasn't managing the final few minutes. This was the white flag. I'm waving it quite widely, a massive white flag. We're here. We're here for a point, Brentford. Come at us if you can. We will see, can we ride you and defend you and not concede the goal. And we're happy to take a point away from you back to Tottenham Hotspur. This wasn't managing the final few minutes. This was a manager, though, his goalkeeper, telling the world he had settled for the draw. For the travelling fans, which it was, this was the ultimate insult. It confirmed everything they feared. The game plan wasn't some clever rope-a-dope, which I did say in the watch-along at one point. I think I said it about the 55th minute. I said Tottenham could be playing the rope-a-dope here. Could be doing the Muhammad Ali against George Foreman. Could be, letting Bournemouth, letting Brentford puff their way out and let them attack them. We'll catch them on a good counter-attack and score a few goals. It wasn't. It wasn't. It was a simple plan not to play football. From that moment on, the match became an exercise of boredom. Vicario goal kicks became long, aimless punts. Every throw was taken with slowness. The play was constantly broken up by clinical little fouls on both sides, by the way. And look, in the final stages, both teams seemed to accept their fate. A late, weak shot from Richarlison. Stubbenstein was clearly held by Kelleher. And then it's the story of the team that started with fear, progressed to passivity, and ended in state outright tactical cowardice. And then I just wrote this little note afterwards. I said, it's clear that the tactics in this match was beyond frustrating. If you're finding this breakdown infuriating, insightful, as I am, look, I know I did write that, by the way. We go deep on it's just ridiculous. And it's just I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I mean, Thomas Frank after the game as well. After fans' reaction, I mean, that toxic post-match is a massive test. It's the manager's chance to explain, look, calm things down. This was my tactic. This is what I told the players to do. And really just explain to us why you did what you did. But his first thing, was come out. His comments were, you know, well, it was fine, wasn't it? I didn't see nothing wrong with it. And when he's asked, can you be a bit more daring in today's press conference? He says, I'm daring enough. Seriously. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Big up to you. Poch is the man we all want. I think that even me, that I don't think Poch coming back is a great idea. I do believe that he probably is the only manager at this time to save us. Rain says, I don't think a fairy godmother can fix all our problems exist. I think we're in for 18 months of sorting post Levy stuff out. And hopefully the squad gets refreshed at time, hopefully. Poch has unfinished business, but would in it back him with who we want? We have that is the biggest question, isn't it? Are in it going to back him? Are finally going to put money where their mouth is? Big up to Jared Dermo. What's your thoughts on Johnson? Look, look, Brennan Johnson, works well in the counter attacker team. Didn't really suit Thomas Frank's tactics. And good luck to him. I wish him all the very best. Thank you for what you've done. Thank you for the night in Bilbao. And you'll ever be a legend by scoring that goal. And best luck to him. And I hope you do well. I really do hope you do well. I can't. I yet see any evidence for me are any different now for what the word would leave it as chairman. So the far as it's all meaningless words. Just like exactly, Cuba. Absolutely. Apart from Odebear, I thought he was crap last night, Wayne. I thought he was dreadful. Attack was crap. Kudus wasn't in the game fully. Morani is the striker. Yeah, I said that. I had a bigger rant on the Palace game. He's not a winger. He really isn't. And I know this is out of the box. Kevin Muscat would be a great manager. He's a winner. That's what we need. He's not like Ange, though. He's not like Ange, though. He has similar tactics. He does. Kevin Muscat. That's not a bad shout. That's not a bad shout. He's not like Ange. He does have similar tactics, but I think he's a bit more, a bit more defensive mind about him too. I mean, I agree with Jeremy O'Hara. You want to go another 10. Uh, you want to go 10 sort of meters up the pitch. And you want to did what we did on the Poch and probably a bit on the range when we were playing well. Press, go for the second ball. If they lose the ball, press them, get them back in. If they put the ball out, hit them. Jamie Harris said this. He says, hit them again. Keep pressing them. And that's what you do. The other team will make a mistake and you will score. We don't do that. We don't do that. And big up to Jerome as well. Thank you so much for the super chat, bud. Really appreciate the support, man. Thank you so much as well. And you shouldn't have done, but thank you so much. Really appreciate it. It's happened a year, Domo. Hope you had a good festive season. I did. I had a lovely festive season. Really did. Had a lovely Christmas Eve. Had a lovely great Christmas Day. Had a lovely St. Stephen's Day, and had a lovely New Year's Eve as well. Yeah. And now it's just back to work, isn't it? It's back to doing watch-alongs and shows. So festive season is over, and now back to work. Back to make this channel bigger and better than it was last year. We had a great year last year, and I want to double down on that and build on that. I'm going to build on the shoulders of what we did last year. Thomas Frank is still trying to find the waistline of what we built last year. I think basically probably at the bottom bit of Ange's arse at the moment. Just hope Ange doesn't blow wind, then Thomas Frank will be in trouble. He said Frank is the definition of a negative manager with zero charisma. Get out and don't come back. Do you know what? I totally agree with that. I totally. But the problem is, Jerome, who do we replace him with? And that is the $64 million question, isn't it? Do you know who do we replace him with? Is Pochettino the man? Who knows? But there is a video coming out on Monday, so but thank you so much for the super chat. And Jerome, we'll have to get you on. Let me know if you're free Saturday, bud. If you're free on Saturday, WhatsApp me. I'll send you a link and I'll get you come on to the build-up game for Sunderland. So let me know, bud, if you want to come on. But guys, that is it. That is the embarrassing, toothless, not good enough, embarrassingly shockable game post-match ball draw between Brentford and Spurs. Tomorrow we'll be back. Tomorrow, Friday. What am I doing tomorrow? I should know what I'm doing tomorrow. I can't remember now. Oh, Saturday tomorrow. Yeah. So do you know what? Christmas really lose my days. Saturday, post match build up tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Join me for that, guys. We're doing that live at 8. I think me and Rain, hopefully Jamone. I did send a message to Steve as well if he wants to pop on as well. So maybe he might join us. Yes, and then Sunday, all your match day build up on one. We are Tottenham TV at 1:30. And then we're starting here at 1:45 with the watch along, and then 5 past 5 with after the whistle. But also Saturday morning as well. The predicted lineup will be out at 8 o'clock Saturday morning. Sunday, we'll have player ratings. That'll be back then. And also a new post match show as well, Sunday night. And then Monday, that video pre record will be out on Poch and Tottenham and Frank and the managerial situation at Spurs. Is Poch the man to save Tottenham? Is he the man to bring us back together? You will get my thoughts. I may get one tequila or somebody like that to get their thoughts on it as well. So watch out for that. And then it's all building up to the FA Cup, then, isn't it? It is all building up to the FA Cup. Next week there will be a history show, a new one on the channel on Tottenham's FA Cup history. So do join us for that as well. Go a bit of fun with that. Then all your build up then for the Villa game as well. But guys, thank you all for watching. Really appreciate it. Please hit the like, please hit the subscribe. Let's get the 3K as quickly as we can, and then let's march on the 4K or 5K. That is my aim. And we're going to finish off this with Casadea said, I back Frank from the start with, I'm not losing faith week in and week out. I'm losing faith week in, week out. It's in the lads have got zero trust in one another. They are too scared to play forward football. That's on the gaffer. And I do know what? I don't think I need to add anything to that comment. I think that's just absolutely perfect. Big up to you, sir. Guys, see you tomorrow. We're back at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Join me for the pre-match build-up. Come on, you Spurs. Please be entertaining on Saturday. I could do with a good game. Come on, you Spurs.